guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides. I am here at the 2023 edition of the LA Auto Show, and guess what? Of course, we had to stop by the Hyundai and Performance booth because Hyundai is definitely bringing some performance with this vehicle. What is it? This is your 2024 Hyundai Ioniq 5N. But before we get into this performance EV hot hatch, let's talk about what's going on here. It's crazy to think that Hyundai has been around selling cars in the United States since the 1980s, but boy oh boy have things changed. With their new N Performance badge, they're really doubling down not only with their other vehicles, but now with their first performance electric vehicle. Now, when we look at the Ioniq 5N, you're gonna get that hatchback style, but also versatility and usability. One thing though that you're definitely not going to expect is that performance level. So what I want to find out is if you're looking for a performance hot hatch style vehicle that is electric, is the Ioniq 5N the way to go? Let's go ahead, let's dive into this performance blue Ioniq 5N and find out. Right off the bat, the color. I like what they've done here. The performance blue is not like on the other models. It's actually a flat blue, and it really showcases the nice crisp body lines. Now, we've already brought you the Ioniq 5 and what that does for drivability and all that. This is all about performance, so it starts at the front end of the business. I love the way they have that signature LED daytime running lamp and headlight. You'll notice the extra aero. So we have our dive plane that extends out to help bring air down the side of the vehicle. In the corners, you have functional corner air curtains. So all of this is for functionality, downforce, but we also want to help increase that range. Now, as we come across the front area, you do have your N badge. Like I said, this is a true N performance vehicle. So following on the footsteps of the Veloster N, the Elantra N, and of course the Kona N, that's where this Ioniq 5N comes into play. I love the way they did this design nicely across the top, fully functional with some orange in there, and I think that that really adds that extra pop. You do have, of course, your forward-facing camera, and then on the lower grille area, you'll notice we have active shutters that are gonna open and close to bring cool air for the lithium-ion battery pack, and a very, very aggressive lower splitter. The whole point of a splitter is to stop air from going underneath the vehicle, but remember, with this being an EV, it's a balance. You don't wanna have too much downforce because that's going to create drag and that's going to cut down on range. So it's one of those things where we want to find the balance. Now, as we rise up, you still have that same hood with the flush flat black on the Hyundai badge, looking great. Now, if you're wondering, well, Joe, what's powering this thing? We have two electric motors, one up front, one out back, producing a tick over 600 horsepower. But just like the Elantra N with the 8-speed DCT, this does have N-Grin mode. What does that mean? You hit that button and that's going to give you overboost of a tick over 640 horsepower and all-wheel drive. Now, as we come around the bend, what are we working with? Wheel and tire setup. Well, first of all, you're going to get that very unique style that Hyundai brings with their wheels. Nice machined aluminum with the flat black accents. This is a 21-inch wheel, so 21 inches in diameter, and then peeking behind that, you're going to notice those pizza-style rotors. Those are the largest rotors ever on any Hyundai production vehicle. You're going to have your different levels of regen braking. You'll notice our massive bright orange. It's like a California orange 6-piston caliper with the N badge there. And then, like I said, with the regen braking, with this being all-wheel drive with the dual motors, that's going to give you some extreme levels of performance. Now, if you're wondering, what about tires? 275 on the width, 35 series sidewall, and we have those Pirelli P0 tires, which are going to give us performance, but like I said, because this is an EV, we want to have range. Now, one of the things that is being talked about is recharging. So if you're going to take this to the track, how do you recharge it? Well, they're saying that you could do your 10-minute tracking sessions and then recharge it and keep it going. After you recharge, get back on the track, do your 10 minutes of track time, and then recharge again, all with that all-wheel drive supremacy. Love the way they did that flared fender style to the Ioniq 5N, especially with this being gunmetal metallic flat finish. Really kind of gives it that nice style. As we rise up from the side of the vehicle, you'll notice that this is not a small, compact vehicle. It's actually a very decent size, so it's one of those things to kind of balance the extra weight, especially with the electric motors, but also make it handle like nothing but the business. You'll notice that we have our gloss black on our mirror caps, LED turn signals looking good, and then you're gonna have this black chrome finish top and bottom. Obviously the door handles are popped out because we're here at the auto show, but these will sit flush on the side of the vehicle. And I really love the way Hyundai does their geometrical shape design into the door panels, especially with this being a flat performance blue. And then you have that side skirt extension with a nice little sprinkling of orange that actually flares back. I'm actually gonna have Lori kind of jump up and show the functionality of cleaning up the air as it hits the rear of the vehicle, even in the flared portion as well. Because remember, like I said, it's about aero efficiency. This vehicle does have the ability to do a drift style mode, so there's lots of different ways to have fun at a performance level with this being an EV. Now, as we get towards the back, I love the way you have that long roof spoiler, nice kick up, and then the way that they did their traditional triangular end third brake light looks great in that rear spoiler. I am gonna zonk the wiper. I wish that they would not have put the wiper there. I'm actually gonna swing around and switch sides. Love the back. Just like we started up front, you got your flush mounted Hyundai badge. We do have our LED lighting with that cube design. Very unique how they do that design all the way across. Ioniq 5 with a little bit of orange. There's our end badge, meaning we got the performance, and then working our way down, this rear diffuser looks like it came off a freaking Le Mans race car. Look at the way we got our reflector light down below. You do have your full aero for all the air coming underneath. And then remember, it's all about air flow supremacy. So with underneath the vehicle, they help channel air. The battery, that lithium ion battery pack is nice and low in the chassis to give us over 600 horsepower. But why don't we get to the interior and see what this N is bringing on the Ioniq. All right, guys, don't adjust your screen. Don't change your phone. Your phone is okay. Everything is okay. I actually found this other Ioniq 5N, and the good news is that it has some power to it, so I could show you some of the things. Now remember, you have your 2 electric motors. You're looking at a little bit over 600 horsepower. You hit the N-Grin boost button on the steering wheel, that's gonna give you a little over 640 horsepower. MSRP, what they're expecting it to be, is $70,000. Think about it, it's common sense, because if you look at the price of an EV6 GT, you're looking around $62,000. This one has more performance, which is gonna equate to a higher price tag. But let me show you what you get on the interior to the door panels. I love the performance blue stitching, nice clean design, checkered flag with that performance blue, door pocket pretty good size, get a couple In-N-Out burgers and a root beer in there. Going from the door panel to the dash, same thing. The materials, the stitching, everything is on needle point. You'll notice the performance blue that they integrate, so they bring some color to the interior. And then you have your nice large 12.3-inch screen. You could bring up your map for your navigation very easily. We could go to home and then go into your charging, pick up all the different charging locations. I'm gonna go home again. Watch this. That's where it's gonna give us all of our charging. Look at that, it tells us exactly where all the charging stations are. Remember, it'll charge 10 to 80% in around 11 minutes. AC vents nicely placed. You got your start stop button. We got our dual climate control, real buttons and knobs. Down below you got wireless charging, a place for a Twinkie, 2 USB-Cs. You got your 12 volt, another USB-C, and then I like this part. Watch this. This is kind of cool. You could put your Entenmann's bun cake here, or you got 2 cup holders. So you get to choose bun cake or cup holders. I like the soft material for when you're doing your track day, you're doing your drift mode. You protect your knees on both sides for the passenger and the driver. And then of course, the armrest. I'm not digging it. I'm gonna zonk it. It feels like Rubbermaid, so it's not my favorite, but you open it up, you got enough room in there for a jar to keep all the tiers of the Tesla owners. The Model 3 and the Model Y owners, keep their tiers in there because this thing is doing the business. Speaking of the business, look at the seats. One-piece sport back and badging that lights up. Nice bolstering. These are the seats out of the Elantra N, so they are full manual control. Let me know how you feel about that. I wish they would have been electric control, especially if this thing is gonna cost $70,000. And if you notice up top, no sunroof. Let me know if that hurts your feelings. But why don't we go ahead, let's get back to the other Ioniq 5N that we started with, and I'll show you the business end. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. I love the way they have the checkered flag sill plate with the N badge there. Nice little touch. Pedal box right out of a freaking race car. Nice aluminum brake pedal, throttle, and super large dead pedal. These seats are right out of the Elantra N. So same manual seats, stinks that they're manual, but they hold you in really good. Look at this. Steering wheel. Look at what you get to rub your hands all over. Love the way it's not flat bottom. It's a nice small diameter size. Performance blue stitching. You got your N-Gren boost. That's over 640 horsepower. Just hit that button. You got your different N mode buttons, drive modes, and then the different levels of regen braking, which is easily acceptable. It is a manual tilting and telescoping wheel. And then you do have that 12.3-inch digital display. I can't turn it on because we're at the auto show, but that obviously will have all sorts of graphics for all the performance of this vehicle. But guess what? This has 4 doors. We're gonna get in the back seat of the Ioniq 5N and see how much room there is. All right, guys, back seat time. And before you just hop in, there's a couple things I wanna show you. First of all, I like the way they have the AC vents mounted in the frame. The one-piece backs, guess what? You get to look at an M badge just like everybody else. So everybody gets an M badge, 2 USB-Cs. And I like the way they position them nice and high. And then you'll notice the floor, totally flat. Because this is a BEV, a battery electric vehicle, that makes the floor very low. Look at this. Seats slide. Obviously, they're gonna recline. And you can enjoy the hot laps. Now think about this for a second. If you are running, say, 10-minute laps around the Nürburgring, let's say you're running 9-minute laps, you could run your whole lap on one charge, come in, and then recharge, and then go back out. And within 10 minutes, you could get about 80 miles of charge. So something to think about when it comes to DC fast charging and all that. When it comes to chilling, you're chilling like a villain with this center armrest, 2 cup holders, and then of course we have all the cargo room in the back to haul all the track goodies. Your helmet, a cooler, all of those different things. But I can't wait to go on throttle to see what the experience is like in a performance BEV from Hyundai and obviously their performance brand, the N branding. We can't do it today, but we're going to. But let's wrap it up from the LA Auto Show. All right, guys, it's been an exciting time here at the LA Auto Show. Definitely want to thank the whole Hyundai team for allowing us access to the Ioniq 5N. Let me know how you feel about it down in the comment section. A little over 600 horsepower, 0 to 60 in about 3 seconds. Is that what you want from this Korean brand? And are you happy with the performance? Let me know down in the comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit the subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raiti's Rides family. Of course, none of this would be possible if it wasn't for my dynamo behind the lens, Lori working that camera like a champ. Thank you, Lori, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.